Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I am Tanya Pierce, and along with my partner, Linda Kewen, your host for today's program. City officials, department directors, friends, family, and distinguished guests here today, on behalf of Chief Jim Cervera, we welcome you to our promotion retirement ceremony. In particular, I'd like to welcome Virginia Beach Circuit Court Judge, the Honorable H. Thomas Padrick, Jr., City Manager Dave Hanson, and Deputy City Manager Steve Cover. On this special day in the life of our department, we will honor 5 employees for their years of service and recognize 6 employees for promotion. At this time, I ask for a moment of silence for the men and women who have made the ultimate sacrifice. Thank you. Following the open remarks and invocation, we will begin today's ceremony. Ladies and gentlemen, the Virginia Beach Police Department's Honor Guard will present our colors, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance and the invocation delivered by Police Chaplain Don Hipple. Please stand. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Chaplain Hipple.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the promotion retirement ceremony with Virginia Beach Police Department. I want to personally thank you and many of you that responded when my son lost his wife back in March. The department came to my aid, and I'll be eternally grateful to each of you. To Chuck Lautner, gonna miss you, fella. The horses are gonna miss you, but don't be a stranger, come back. To Mark Mauricio, my friend from the 4th, congratulations. Beautiful little girl you got there. May we play, please. God of creation, God of protection, bless these that retire and thank them for the many years of service. And for these that are promoted, may they serve with honor and continue serving our fine city of Virginia Beach. In the precious name of our Lord, God, amen.
Please be seated. I'd like to ask Chief Cervera to come to the podium for opening remarks.
Good afternoon. Okay, this is a happy occasion, so we're going to take 2. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. I'll keep my remarks very brief because I do want to introduce our city manager in a moment. Well, first I want to talk to the retirees. It's absolutely fantastic that you're going to walk across the stage after X number of years of loyal service, X number of years of putting others first and yourself second, your career of juggling family, of juggling personal life, but yet always putting the mission above everything else. You know, I joke, I just did it with Lieutenant Chrisman. Usually when you tell me you're going to retire, the first thing I say is, you're dead to me. But that's just my way of saying I really appreciate everything you've done. It's going to be hard to fill your shoes. It's going to be hard to have somebody else march the way you marched, but we carry on. To the promotees, the most important rank in a police agency is that of sergeant. There are many people who would think it's upper command. I believe it's sergeant. Sergeants are the folks who set the culture of an organization. Any organization can have rules, regulations, policies, procedures, memos, and directives, right? But it's that first line supervisor in any organization who sets the culture, who gets the mission accomplished. So for those of you who have put on the sergeant stripes, if you haven't already not figured it out, there's a lot of additional stress that's going to go along with that position. We've had the conversation, and on many occasions, when something is happening, deputy chiefs or myself, the first question we ask is, who was code 32 at that scene? Who was the supervisor? So we appreciate that you've taken on this added responsibility. For the promotee going up to the rank of lieutenant, you are now a shift supervisor, and that same level of responsibility is going to be on your shoulders, one rank higher. And believe me, we are attuned to all of the things that are happening within those squads. But you are the most important rank that we could ever have. I know my captains are sitting here going, okay, what happened to us? But you set the culture, you set the tone of the organization. I asked our city manager if he would say a few words. Dave Hansen has been a big supporter of public safety ever since he was a deputy city manager. He has taken on this role. Now he also requires his department directors rise to a certain level of expectation. That is why we have such a great city. He's an extreme supporter of police. He's an extreme supporter of fire and rescue. And I would like to have him say a few words to the promotees. Sir.
Happy Friday to the police officers, to the firefighters, to the medics, to the telecommunicators, to the staffs that support them. And on behalf of the mayor and the city council, the citizens of Virginia Beach, and all the businesses and visitors that make their living here, thanks for keeping us the safest large city in America. It is a huge responsibility to protect our citizens, and it's an even larger challenge to live up to a national goal that we have set for ourselves. And for those of us that are in management, that are responsible for resourcing what you do, for making sure that you come home safe every day, we take that on as seriously as you do every day on the street. To the families that are here, we appreciate the fact that you loan us your loved ones and you trust us with your loved ones to carry out the mission of providing the safety and the security and the quality of life for those of us that live in Virginia Beach. I'm especially appreciative to those 5 retirees that have worked so hard and have committed their lives to providing for our welfare. And as a former enlisted guy who had to become a lieutenant because he couldn't make staff sergeant and wore the uniform for 30 years, and have a family that chased me around the world, support my endeavors as a uniformed member of the United States Army, I can appreciate what the families have sacrificed for each one of us here. And so thank you for what you've done for your retiree. And now it's time that they get the honey-do list and they pay back all those things that you had to sacrifice for them. And to the 6 folks, yeah, I saw that look, absolutely, put it to them. And so for those 6 folks that are getting promoted today, congratulations. Both administrators, and most importantly to the sergeants that are out there making those critical decisions every day, every night, taking on the burden of protecting both their men and women in uniform and the citizens that surround them. I am deeply honored for the job that you do. I consider it an honor to wear a blue tie today in honor of your promotion. And to the one lieutenant that's going to pin on today, I can remember when I became a platoon leader, and I wore the rank of lieutenant. A huge responsibility. And so, on behalf of everybody in the city, congratulations on your special day. Thank you.
Sir?
For those of you who don't know me, I'm Judge Thomas Patrick of the Virginia Beach Virginia Beach Circuit Court. Virginia Beach Police. Now that was a Freudian slip because I wondered, why would they ask me to speak to retirees? I don't know anything about retiring, I'm still working. But I do know plenty about making sergeant because I was a sergeant on the Virginia Beach Police, for those of you who didn't know, for 5 years. And I can tell you, I know, like I said, I know plenty about getting promoted. It was one of the happiest days of my life. And when I was a sergeant, I became a sergeant, I was a detective working, I think, sex crimes in the Detective Bureau. And we didn't have a ceremony. We didn't have anything like that. My sergeant at the time saw the letter where I made sergeant, and he said, well, wait a minute, what's the effective date of that? And I told him it was August 1st. He says, fine, you have plenty of time, and he gave me 10 more cases to investigate. So that was my introduction. When I went to the 2nd Precinct, I'd been there for about a year, and the only person that is still on the department that worked for me was Chief Cervera. He was a brand new, really good police officer. He's very polished, and he was a lot like he is now then. He's always done a good job. He was a great patrolman when he worked for me. And I'm not saying that because I don't need to get promoted again or get in his good side. I've just known him for a long time. People say, for example, how is it that you hit the ground running when you became a judge? I've been a judge for 25 years. And this might sound strange to you, but being a police sergeant is a lot like being a judge because you're always involved in, not always, but you're involved in conflicts. We're always involved in legal conflicts or issues. And what does a sergeant do? He or she gets called down when there's an issue. And what do? They straighten things out. They kind of survey the terrain, make a decision, and move on. This is what judges do. So that trained me to be a judge. Whether I'm would have made a good police lieutenant is another matter because I never made lieutenant. So another recommendation for those of you who are getting promoted to sergeant, it's like, again, being a judge. And when I always talk to new judges, they always say, do you have any advice? And I say, yeah, I have some really good advice that I used to tell police officers or police supervisors, and that is learn how to say no in a nice way. If you learn how to say no in a nice way, you'll be a great supervisor, just like you'd be a great judge. So that's the advice I have to give you. And again, I will tell you, and I've made many strides in my life, but it's hard to match the happiness I felt when I became a sergeant many years ago. So congratulations to all of you. The retirees, like I said, I wish I had something to say to you other than have a good life. You worked hard for it. The new supervisors, I know you were at the top of the group that got selected, so congratulations and have a good career. And for those of you who want to make lieutenant, I hope you do a better job than I did in making lieutenant. All right, thank you.
We we will now recognize our retirees. When I call your name, please enter the stage to your right and bring with you your loved one. Lieutenant Robert Chrisman. Bob joined the Virginia Beach Police Department in June of 1988 after serving in the United States Marine Corps. He worked in Uniform Patrol, the 2nd and 3rd Precinct, Personnel and Training, Operations Administration as the Deputy Chief's Aide, and the Support Division. Bob is a distinguished graduate of the 258th session of the FBI National Academy and a graduate of the Professional Executive Leadership School. Throughout his career, he's received 31 letters of appreciation, 4 letters of recognition, the Peer Award, 3 Class Act Awards. Bob served as the chairperson for the Regional Orion Advisory Group for the Orion Network. He coordinated the implementation of the security camera system at various police facilities and helped coordinate efforts to move the long-term evidence to the new Leroy Drive Property Evidence Facility. Bob is a very dedicated, dependable leader who is very knowledgeable and willing to assist in any way. He volunteered for assignments and always had a great attitude. Bob was the go-to person to get the job done.
Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you very much for being here today. I'll put everybody's mind at ease right up front. I'll tell you that my opportunity at the podium, there's 3 things this will not be. It will not be long. It will not be technical in nature. And Chief, it is certainly not a platform for me to look at you and ask if I cannot call you by your first name. You will always be the Chief to me. With that said, first and foremost, I'd like to thank God for every opportunity I've ever had and the great career that I had with this department. I would like to thank my family, who unfortunately could not be here today. Unfortunately, you don't have a whole lot to say about the timing of illness sometimes. So my wife's homesick, but I know she's thinking about me, and I promised her that I would be talking about her. I appreciate all that support. Chief, I appreciate your support and your confidence through the years, as well as the command staff and the men and women of this great department. I appreciate every opportunity I had to work with each and every one of you. The 3 things I would like to just mention briefly are, first of all, leadership. For those that are newly promoted or those that have been promoted in the past and hold current positions, I would tell you that you need to take advantage of each and every opportunity you get to attend any type of leadership training, any type of a school. I was very blessed, had the opportunity to go through the city's leadership course, West Point leadership, the FBI National Academy, and yes, there is such a thing as a distinguished graduate, and Pell's in Richmond. But the most important thing about all of that training is that you actually bring it back and you put it into practice. It means nothing if all you do is learn a bunch of great stuff, come back and do business the way you've always done it. The second thing I'd like to mention is very much the idea of goal setting. For me, I was always about setting goals on the department, whether it was for myself or for my folks, for my unit, for those who I worked with. And as a retired captain and a pastor at our church says on a regular basis about goal setting, and it's very true, if you aim at nothing, you'll hit it every single time. And the last is the power of networking. I can't speak about that enough. I was very fortunate in the department to have an opportunity to work on a variety of projects, and not only networking with folks in the department, but folks throughout the city. And there is no better way to accomplish what you set out to do and get things done than through learning to network with folks and develop those relationships and make use of them. So to our retirees, along with myself, congratulations. I hope you're enjoying it as much as I have been. To the new promotees, congratulations. I know you'll do well, and thank you very much.
Master Police Officer Charles Lochner. Chuck joined the Virginia Beach Police Department in January of 1989. He worked in uniform patrol at the 2nd and 3rd Precinct before his transfer to Special Operations as a Mounted Patrol Officer in 1994. He was a Department of Criminal Justice instructor, and Chuck was the first VBPD officer to become a nationally certified riding instructor with a specialty in Mounted Patrol. Chuck's collateral duty was that of the department's farrier, utilizing his own equipment. Chuck is the recipient of the department's Blue Star Medal due to an incident that occurred in the summer of 1998, where Chuck was struck by an impaired driver while on patrol in the 800 block of 19th Street. Unfortunately, his mount passed away the following week due to his injuries. Chuck is self-initiating and dedicated. He spent 23 years assigned to the Mounted Patrol, working all major holidays and supporting the 2nd Precinct during summer operations, as well as the city during holiday planned patrols. He has participated in 2 presidential inauguration parades and was part of the security detail for Queen Elizabeth's visit to Williamsburg in 2007. He competed in and won national police equestrian competitions from various states across the United States as well as Canada. Everyone, whether it is the coffee crowd at the Pungo 7-Eleven, people in the community, or members of the department, recognize Chuck for his integrity and for his reputation.
Well, I guess the people out there who know me know I don't talk a whole lot, and I don't like to talk in front of people. So my speech is not going to be as good as Bob's, but right before I retired, I thought I wasn't going to miss the job, but I do. I don't miss the nights, the work in the oceanfront on the holidays, Chief. I don't miss that part, but I miss the people and I miss the job. And I miss riding with my partner, which happened to be my wife. I just want to say thanks to everybody. My main priority for most of my adult life was being a good cop, and now I just want to be more of a family person, father and a husband. And that's my 2 main priorities. The other 2 people I care for very much in this world are sitting in that front row, Herb and Jill Brown. So just want to say thanks. Thank you, Mounted Squad, for coming. I know you guys will do anything to get out of working, all right? Yeah. You guys are the unit, so thank you, Mary Jo. It was a pleasure working for you, and it was an honor to retire under you. Thanks. Thank you, everybody.
Master Police Officer William Eric Henry. Eric joined the Virginia Beach Police Department in February of 1997 after serving 5 years with the Virginia Beach Sheriff's Office. He worked in uniform patrol at the 2nd Precinct in COP as well as the Oceanfront COP. He worked in uniform patrol at the 4th Precinct and was a police training officer for 7 years. He was certified as a bike, ATV, and small motorcycle operator. Throughout his career, he's received 14 letters of appreciation and a life-saving certificate for utilizing an AED on a patient. Eric consistently worked some of the busiest zones, both in the 2nd and 4th precincts, handling a large number of calls for service while generating little to no complaints. He's extremely knowledgeable of the department policies and procedures, as well as the state and local laws. He is a source of information and a mentor to junior officers. Administrative Assistant Virginia Page. Virginia, affectionately known as Ginny, joined the Virginia Beach Police Department in June of 2004 as a Forensics Clerk 2, responsible for civil process, identification, and clerical work. In October 2007, she was promoted to Office Assistant 2 and then was assigned to the Operations Division. In May of 2011, she was promoted to Administrative Assistant and transferred to the Law Enforcement Training Academy, where she worked until her retirement. There are many common themes about Ginny's work during her tenure with us. She always was very enthusiastic about her work and eager to help others. While assigned to LEDA, Jeannie had many collateral duties. She would give up the occasional weekend to assist with applicant training. She was the department's liaison for citywide human service training sessions. She coordinated many of the special events held here at LEDA, to include the academy graduations, award ceremonies, and promotion ceremonies. Ginny is a very reliable, dedicated, and trusted. She was trusted in everything she did for this agency, and she'll be missed greatly.
Those of you who know me know I don't believe in the Reader's Digest version, but I am giving you one today, so it is on record. I just believe that 14 years ago we moved out here from California to be with my daughter and my granddaughters and family. And I remember driving around the municipal center and saying, wow, that's really a cool place to be. I wish I could work there, particularly the police. Well, less than a year later, I was being interviewed and I got the job with forensics. And they asked, why should I get the job? And I said, well, I think I'd really be an asset because ever since we've been here for the last 9 months, every time between 1 a.m. and 3 a.m., I'm watching Dr. G forensic files, so I know everything. So time flies. I did go from working forensics, where I had a ball, and also then in headquarters upstairs, and then I came down here to LEDA. The best part about being here is they actually paid me to use their $1.8 million to go shopping. That is a killer. I will miss that budget. But I did have a lot of fun doing all the work. And I would tell Rhonda, my replacement, as soon as you get the credit card, have fun. I remembered the words. I remember the words, though. Wasn't really good in history, but I remember the words of Teddy Roosevelt when he was going into battle at the San Juan Hill, and he was out there in the Spanish-American War, and he said as he got ready to hit the battlefield, charge it! And when I go shopping, I say charge it. Thank you. I will miss you all.
Master Police Officer Gary Washington. Gary joined the Virginia Beach Police Department in June of 2007, and he was assigned to the 3rd Precinct, working in different assignments such as community-oriented policing, school resource officer, and a truancy abatement officer. He was a mobile tactics grenadier, he was a police training officer, and he was certified in bike, ATV, and small motorcycle as an operator. He's received 4 letters of appreciation, 2 Class Act awards for burglary suspect apprehensions. He was the Officer of the Quarter. In 2010, Gary received the department's Life-Saving Award for saving the life of a man whose lawnmower flipped over on top of him, pinning him under approximately 3 feet of water. He is the Silver Cross recipient for the 2015 incident where a homicide suspect shot at him during a pursuit. Gary is known for his high level of generosity and compassion towards those he encounters every day. Part of those interactions always involved his genuine smile.
All right. First thing is, I wasn't expecting to speak. My wife reminded me, I think as we were walking up, hey, are you going to say something? I was like, was I supposed to? And then the chief, I guess he's getting his last request out of me. Again, I don't have a lot to say. I just want to say this job was, was an honor to do this. I got injured, so I couldn't, continue on the way I would have liked to. This isn't the way I wanted to end my career, but at least I get to walk across this stage, and I'm praying for each and every one of you to do the same thing one day. Better circumstances than mine, do it after 20, 30 years, but definitely get a chance to walk across this stage because this is a very honorable job. It's what I always wanted to do when I was a kid, and I'm glad I got the chance to do it and work with you wonderful folks. And I'll be praying for you, and I'll still be around, so I'll still wave to you when I see you, even if I can't see in the car because my eyes are getting bad, but I'll still wave to each and every car I see, so thank you.
Ruth Hope Bateman, promoted to Public Safety Data Services Assistant, accompanied by Hope joined the Virginia Beach Police Department in March of 2013, assigned to the Animal Care and Adoption Center as a Clerk 3 before her transfer to the Department Services Division. She's in the process of pursuing her degree through Tidewater Community College. When not at work, Hope volunteers her time with the Virginia Beach Animal Care and Adoption Center. Emily Miles, promoted to Account Clerk Supervisor. Emily joined the Virginia Beach Police Department in January of 2013 and is assigned to our department's payroll unit. She's received several certifications of achievement through the city, as well as 6 letters of appreciation and 2 Class Act awards for her assistance with the Miss Amazing pageant. In her off time, Emily volunteers with her church as an Upward basketball coach, Awana's game director, and as the Vacation Bible School Director for Kempsville Baptist Church.
I would just like to thank Tom Mitchell and Susie Campbell for believing in my abilities to oversee the payroll office. To me, a supervisor is only as good as the team that you oversee. I am very blessed to have a wonderful group of ladies who work hard with short deadlines and little mistakes, which makes my job as their supervisor very easy. Thank you.
Sergeant Nicholas Ball, accompanied by his mother, Diane. Sergeant Ball joined the Virginia Beach Police Department in February of 2006. He holds his bachelor's degree in criminal justice from Virginia Commonwealth University and his associate's degree in administrative justice from Tidewater Community College. He is a Department of Criminal Justice General Instructor, and during his career, Sergeant Ball has been assigned to uniform patrol in the 2nd and 4th Precinct and was assigned to personnel development and training as a squad leader and instructor. He has received 14 letters of appreciation, as well as being the 4th Precinct Officer of the Year in 2008 and in 2010. In 2015, Sergeant Ball was the recipient of the department's Life-Saving Award.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for coming out to the ceremony. First, I'd like to thank Chief Cervera for giving me this opportunity for the added responsibility and leadership role. I look forward to learning and excelling at the new challenge. Thank you, Mr. City Manager. Thank you, Judge, for showing up, and thank you, Deputy City Manager, for your presence and supporting this promotion ceremony. First, I'd like to thank the many officers and sergeants and lieutenants who have coached and mentored me through my career. There are so many to name, and they have all helped me become an officer that I've become to this day. Also helped me become the person I am to this day. The 2 most recent squads that I worked on had the most influence throughout my career. For the 4th Precinct Community Oriented Policing Squad, I have 2 members here that I work with both there and my next assignment at LEDA, Frank Philippone and Jen Johannesson, sitting in the middle of the auditorium there. Got to see them bully people and hug people throughout our entire career. Frank, I hope I lived up to your terms of not waiting to be great. The 4th Precinct Squad, we engage each other on a regular basis, made ourselves better officers. At LEDA, the officers I work with and the supervisors and academy instructors, they also help me become the person I am and becoming a mentor and a leader that I'm going to be throughout the next years of my career. The guidance I gained from them have helped me a great deal. Lastly, I must recognize the friends and family who've helped me become the person I am. Some friends stuck with me throughout high school and throughout my career. I can't even begin to mention how important it was to have my outside of work friends to hang out with on a regular basis. So Ryan, Greg, Ian, and Chris, thank you very much. Then there are also the friendships I developed through work, whether it was riding together on evening shift and becoming best friends, or whether it was becoming partners on COP and then also becoming very good friends. So Matt and Joey, thank you for everything that you've done. I've talked a lot about friendships, but these people have also become family over the years. So with that being said, I cannot forget my family. They are the reason I am who I am. Mom, Dad, and brother, Matt, sitting in the back, thank you very much. I love you guys. I would not be here without you at all. And you guys have loved and supported me when I had this crazy idea of becoming a police officer about 16 years ago. Had all the support in the world. So thank you guys, I love you. And to conclude, and as I mentioned earlier, there are a lot of people that I may not have mentioned that you guys have helped me a great deal throughout my career. So I thank you very much. Be safe, and I look forward to seeing you out on the streets. Thank you.
Sergeant James Jaskowiak, accompanied by his wife Maria and son Mason. Sergeant Jaskowiak joined the Virginia Beach Police Department in August of 2003 and holds a Criminal Justice Associate's degree from St. Leo University. He is a Department of Criminal Justice instructor in the fields of driving and radar. He has worked in uniform patrol assigned to the 2nd and 4th Precinct. He was a domestic violence detective as well as a precinct property crimes detective. His last assignment prior to promotion was that of the department's driving training coordinator assigned to personnel development and training. He was promoted to master police officer in 2009.
Good afternoon. Well, you can see what most of my day is filled with. I would say he takes after his mother, but unfortunately he has my stubbornness. Thank you, Chief, command staff, friends and family for showing up today. When I began my police career 14 years ago, I set 3 goals for myself. I wanted to become a master police officer, I wanted to become a detective, and I wanted to become a sergeant. And a father. And now I'm very proud that I have attained these. Okay, look. Go over to Mom. Good. Or stand over here. Stay right there. Stay right there. Come over there, buddy. I'd like to thank Chief Cervera for his confidence in my abilities, seeing fit to promote me to sergeant. I'd like to thank the members of the command staff who have helped groom and mold me through numerous leadership opportunities. I've been very fortunate in my career to have worked with some remarkable supervisors. These supervisors have taken extra time and effort, and they've taken extra time and effort to push me to reach my potential. I'd like to give a special thank you to retired Sergeant Sam Thompson, now Lieutenant Ken Spivey, and Sergeant Nick Brewer. These three have had a huge impact, not only on my professional career, but on my personal life as well, and I'm very proud to call them friends. I also want to thank all the men and women that I've served with on the police department. Mason. They're not only some of the best officers in the nation, some of the best men and women I've had the pleasure of knowing. They're truly the backbone of this city, and they deserve the very best that this department and this city can give them. Lastly, but certainly not least, I'd like to thank my family. Most important, my wife and son, as everybody's met. They've stood by my side through all the missed holidays, the numerous missed family gatherings, and the late nights, never swaying in their love, support, and encouragement. They are my foundation, and without them, this would mean nothing. Thank you.
Sergeant Daniel Walski, accompanied by his wife Jennifer and son Nevin. Sergeant Walski joined the Virginia Beach Police Department in November of 2007 and holds an Associate of Applied Science and Business degree with Columbia Southern University. He is a Department of Criminal Justice instructor, a standardized field sobriety test instructor. He is a crisis negotiator, having received his training from the FBI. He started his career working evenings in the 4th Precinct and transferred to Special Operations in 2012, where he worked in the Traffic Safety Unit, the Hit and Run Unit, and he was a member of the Fatal Crash Team. In 2017, Sergeant Walski was the DUI Conference Coordinator for the 2.5-day Mid-Atlantic DUI Conference. For this conference, he managed a $70,000 budget and organized over 20 speakers to educate over 240 law enforcement professionals from throughout the Atlantic region. He's promoted to Master Police Officer in 2014, and he served in the United States Coast Guard on active duty until 1998 and is currently serving as a Chief Warrant Officer in the Reserves.
It might be a lot of pages, but it's really big print. Good afternoon, Mr. Hanson, Judge Padrick, Chief Cervera, and other distinguished guests, friends, and family. I'm honored to be up here speaking with all of you. I feel the position of sergeant is an exceptionally important position within the police department. It's an honor to have been placed in this position, and I'm extremely thankful for the opportunity. I want to personally congratulate all the folks celebrating their retirement today and those sharing the stage with me celebrating their promotions. Everyone's heard the term, it takes a village. Well, that's me. Getting promoted is not only the accomplishments of one person, it's the success of many people that have mentored and trained the promotee and now trusted to lead their own group of personnel. In my particular case, there's a number of people that have mentored me, coached me, trained me, even yelled at me, never lost hope, given me opportunities that I'd like to think that I might have earned, but I'm not naive to the fact that I might have just been in the right place at the right time. To cover a list of those individuals that have helped me get to this point would keep us here well into the night. So if you're one of those people and you know who you are, please accept a sincere thank you and know that I will continue to pay forward all the mentoring and training that I've had the opportunity to receive from all of you. I'd be remiss to not acknowledge my wife, Jen, who's the glue that holds our family together. Being the spouse and officer is not easy, and she's used to the constant schedule changes, frequent call-outs, and sometimes having to put the department over the family. You handle these changes in stride, and I cannot ever repay you for the sacrifices you make. I love you, honey. I also want to take the time to acknowledge my son, Nevin, Sometimes, to Jen's dislike, he's my mini-me in more ways than you ever know, except for height. And I'm extremely proud of the young man you're becoming. Thank you for celebrating this afternoon with me and giving the honor of having you pin my badge on me. I hope that in 4 years I can repay the honor should you earn the opportunity to walk across the stage. I love you, buddy. Finally, I have two other people I want to mention. My mom and dad. They made a last-minute trip to Florida when I had to, excuse me for a second, when I got the call from the chief's office on Monday. Drop what they're doing. I'll get it together. Drop what they're doing from their busy retired lives. Drove 1,000 miles with their four-legged sons to be here today. I love you both. Thank you. Oh, I'll get it together. Maybe not anytime soon, but I'll get it together. All right. I look forward to working with all of you in the days, weeks, and months ahead. Chief, I can't promise that I won't make a mistake along the way, but know that when and if I do, I won't make the same mistake twice. To the crash team and the traffic unit, it was really a pleasure and an honor to work with you, and I'll miss you all. Hopefully I'll be back there one day. Thank you for the opportunity. Take care of each other and be safe.
Lieutenant Mark Bariso, accompanied by his wife Ling, daughter Angela, and brother Mitchell. Lieutenant Bariso joined the Virginia Beach Police Department in January of 1999 after serving in the United States Air Force. He holds a Bachelor's of Criminal Justice Management and Planning degree from Park University and his Criminal Justice Associate's degree from Community College of the Air Force. He is a Department of Criminal Justice instructor, a West Point leadership graduate, and has received training through the Leadership Ethics for Law Enforcement, as well as the Performance Management for Supervisors. He has worked in the Uniform Patrol in the 1st, 2nd, 4th Precinct, within the Detective Bureau as a Property Crimes Detective, and with the Warrant Fugitives Unit. As a sergeant, he supervised the Auto Theft Unit in the 3rd Precinct Property Crimes Unit. He's received 16 letters of appreciation, 4 Class Act awards, Detective of the Year in 2004, 2005, and 2006, and is a recipient of the Department's Life Saving Award. He was promoted to sergeant in 2007.
Perfect. That's great. I'm not going to be nearly as long as the other guys. Thankfully, it's the end of the day, the last speech of the night, so hopefully we can get through this. First of all, thank you, Chief. Thank you to the city manager. I appreciate the trust that you're showing in me. Oh, I'm sorry, Mr. Cover also for showing up. I appreciate it. And I take the trust very, very seriously. Trust is not something that's given. You have to earn that trust. And I think over the years, I've made every effort to earn that trust, and I hope to maintain that trust and build on it continually throughout my career. Next, I'd like to congratulate all the other promotees for the day. Several of the sergeants actually worked for me at one point, which I'm glad to see. I'm glad to see you guys getting promoted. They were all excellent officers. They're going to make excellent sergeants. I'm very sure of that. I would like to thank my wife, who supported me over the years. Through the midnight shifts, the evening shifts, day shifts, through the 1st precinct, the 2nd precinct, 4th precinct, the 3rd precinct. I've worked at every precinct, every shift as a sergeant. I looked up, I was speaking with Sergeant Housing just yesterday, and I was promoted 10 years ago as of July 7th. 10 years ago, July 25th, I stood on this same podium. and spoke about my sergeant. So 4 days away. It would have been 10 years exactly. So that was pretty exciting. As a lieutenant, I look forward to learning this new job. I look forward to the new challenges. I'm certain they'll make me a better person. I'll strive to make every decision to the best of my ability, keeping in mind the vision of our department and the leaders for the safety of our officers. I'm very eager and excited to take on this new challenge in my life. I look forward to both my future and the future with the department. I personally believe that being in the police department, the fire department, rescue, and with today's military are some of the most noblest professions that you can perform. And I think all of these people deserve our special thanks at this point. That's all I have. I appreciate the time. Thank you, Chief.
I would like to ask all of the newly promoted officers to join us back on stage for the oath of honor administered by Judge Padrick.
All right, sergeants and lieutenant, raise your right hand and repeat after me. On my honor, I will never betray my badge, my integrity, my character, or the public trust. I will always have the courage to hold myself and others accountable for our actions. I will always uphold the Constitution and the community I serve. Congratulations, all right?
Well, ladies and gentlemen, this concludes our program, and we thank you for joining us today for the special occasion. Congratulations to the newly promoted, and best wishes to our retirees. Following the benediction, Chief Cervera would like to cordially invite you to take part in refreshments being served in the cafeteria across the hall. Chaplain Hipple.
Thank you, Tanya. Got a text this morning from a friend on vacation in Alaska. He says, I'm wearing a jacket, it's 50 degrees outside. I texted him back, I said, I do not want to hear it. Anyway. This heat won't last. I've seen it come and go. And we bow in prayer, please. Oh God, our Creator and Protector, as we leave here, may we travel with your safety net around us. For the officers that are now on duty, as we speak, protect them. And may they bring honor to the badge they wear. In your precious name, amen.